Good afternoon. This is episode 5 of the LEGO Insect Collection series, and today we're going to build the Hercules beetle. In the previous 4 episodes, we've built the butterfly. I'm just going to show you the end product real quick. Gorgeous colorways, building techniques, and a great realistic end result, if you ask me. In episodes 3 and 4, we've built the Chinese mantis. And it has the same base structure as the butterfly had, and as will the Hercules beetle. So the same ground, the same soil, and the same vegetation patterns. And this is the end product of the Chinese mantis build. And as said, today we're going to do the final insect, the Hercules beetle. The SKU/serial number of the set is still 21342. Altogether, these 3 builds consist of 1111 pieces. Nice number. And this is part of the LEGO Idea series, number 50 thereof. So with that said, I'm going to put aside our butterfly and our Chinese mantis real quick. And off we go. As in the previous 3 episodes, there's going to be no unboxing because the box has been opened in the very first episode. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour out the contents that remain in there. Oops. And that was some suboptimal planning on my side because I've put back the extra bits in there as well. So I'm just going to collect those real quick. We're going to put those back in the box. And then we can start the actual build. Give me a quick second while we collect all of the small bricks. So these were extra bricks from the first 2 insect builds. So those go back into the box. And we're going to look, oh, there it is. So this is the booklet of the Hercules beetle. We've had separate booklets for the butterfly as well as the Chinese mantis. So this was the butterfly booklet. This was some general info about the designers and the idea submitter. And this was the Chinese mantis booklet. So I'm going to put those aside as well. Putting them back in the box. And I'm going to collect the remainder of the extra bits and pieces. There's the small ones as usual. Quite colorful collection thereof too. And I'm going to put aside the box. Making sure it doesn't fall off the table. Okay. And with that, let's jump right into it. LEGO Insect Collection, Hercules beetle, going in. And as the booklet states, we're going to need 3 packs for the Hercules beetle, packs 3, 4, and 5. So there's pack number 4. Oops. There's pack number 3. And there's pack number 5. And I've thrown off some additional mini bricks. Give me a quick second while I pick up. Actually, I just dropped off one. So those go back in the box as well. And with that, I'm putting aside packs number 5 and 4 for later. And we're going to start with pack number 3 going in. And as usual, pack emptiness confirmed. As usual, we have 2 smaller packs with smaller bricks within the big pack. So I'm gonna rip open those as well. That was sub-pack number 1, and then sub-pack number 2. And I'm gonna try to spread the bricks apart a bit so you guys have a good angle on both the booklet and the bricks themselves. And as said, we're going to start with the base on which the Hercules beetle will stand. So it's going to be quite similar to the start of the previous insects, but there's going to be some changing up in the greenery, in the flora / fauna thereon. So let's jump right into it. And we're going to start with the longest plate right here, which is a 2x18, I believe. And on top, we're going to add to the middle a 4x4 brown brick, chocolatey brown. And that's going to be the core of our soil / ground, I believe. And we're going to attach to that chocolate piece 2 2x6s, black color this time around. And we're going to fill up our structure, and it's going to form into an octagon with 4 of these black diamonds. So that's diamond number 1, and then diamond number 2, and 3, and 4. And those were pretty much the biggest bricks / plates within this pack. And we're going to start filling up our base with 4 additional 4x4s of the chocolate color. Kind of reminds me of the Lindt chocolate balls that I've consumed maybe a bit too many of in the past days. But it's Christmas, so it doesn't really count, does it? So that's number 4. And we have a nice plus or cross or X shape. And we keep on filling up our octagon. Into the edges we add 4 of these 1x6 smooth top plates, black in color. That's 2. And that is 3. And that is 4. And we add mini diamonds of the same chocolatey color, joining the chocolatey squares 4 times. And that's 2. And that is 3. And 4. And as usual, we can see the progress bar at the bottom. So we are at roughly 10% of the entire build of the Hercules beetle. Now we're going to add quarter circles of this brown color 8 times. And those are going to fill up our mini squares, our mini corners right there. Adding a bit more soil / ground to the base of the build. And that was number 3, I believe. And there's number 4. Putting the booklet back in view for you guys to see. Just give me a second while I search for quarter circle number 5 and number 6 number 7. And finally, we have number 8. We're also going to add 12 of these black triangles, and with those we're going to fill up the second layer of our base build. So we start with triangle number 1, and then 2, and 3, and 4. And these are smooth tops as well, so no knobs / dots attached to them. Just a plain old black triangles, which is always nice to have. Things changed up a bit. You have the knobbed bricks and the smooth bricks and the bricks with attachments and the bricks with moving parts. Next up we have, and that's definitely different compared to the previous builds, we have 4 of these trapezoid shapes. 2 brown and two of these I've said in previous videos. I love this bluish, greenish, grayish, unique color. So we're gonna start at the 3rd knob position, I believe. We're gonna add the bluish, greenish, grayish one. And with the opposite orientation, same brick in brown color. To the other side, so we skip 2 rows of knobs, like so. And we do the same, so we keep symmetry. And we start filling up our structure with some vegetation. I'm going to start with these diamonds, the mini diamonds to be specific, of the same bluish, greenish, grayish color. So to the right we add 1, like so, and then 2, like so. To the left we add the 3rd mini diamond, right there. So that's going to join our trapezoid at the middle, like so. And next we add 4 of these vibrant green quarter circles. So the first comes right there, and the second one right here, and a 3rd one to the other side, like so. And then the last one comes to the top of the unique greenish, bluish, grayish color trapezoid, like so. And we also add 4 of our leaves / plants of the same vibrant green color. So that's number 1. And then number 2, oops, like so. And then to the left as well, we add 2 more. That is 1. And that is 2. I was just checking, by the way, if the phone is parallel to the ground and horizontal. I kind of felt that there's a slight angle to it, but it should be fine. Or unrecognizable for you guys, hopefully. So we added 1 of the unique color dots. And we're going to need 1 more to be added to the right. Well, we have two croissants. I'm really curious where that is going to go and what that is going to be serving as. Love it. So we're looking for the other greenish, bluish, grayish dot. It might be hiding underneath a bigger brick. Yep, there it is. And that goes right there. Like so. And as usual, the bricks to be added are encircled with red for better viewability and practicality. We're going to add two of these 2x2 circles with the cross-shaped hole. Sorry about the wobble. The first one goes right there. And then the second one goes to the left, like so. And we also add one more of our plants to the right. And it's right there. And that goes right there. So for step 10, we add 4 times the mini flowers / mini plants. Start on the right, like so. And as previously, we have a unique building technique. The second dot, the second flower, we're not going to join to a knob, but rather we're going to push it in between 4 knobs. So it's going to be on top of the cross-shaped hole. And sometimes it's hard to fit that in. Let's see whether it works out this time around. Oops. Close enough, but not there yet. So that's quite a unique building technique. And to me at least, a challenging one as well. I'm also trying to give you guys a close-up of what I'm doing. I'm not sure if it's visible, but I'm trying, that's for sure. Okay. Nope. Yep. Oh, no. Still no. Sorry. that's always a challenge to do. I wonder if it's the same for other builders out there. There it is. See? It's in between the 4 knobs, but it's not attached to a knob. It's attached into a hole actually. Okay. So we add 2 flowers to the left as well. 2 mini flowers to be more specific. One on top of the vibrant green one, and the other one, once again, in between 4 other knobs. Let's see if... Yep, that was somewhat easier. We're also going to add 2 of these unique shapes, C shapes or L shapes, or even heart shapes, cut off heart shapes depending on your projection. So we're going to add one right there, and then hugging it around, we add the second chocolate brownie piece. So it's sub-build time. Before that, let me grab a sip of lemon water, sorry. And this time around in this set, sub-builds are marked with a white backgrounded rectangle. So we're going to take our chocolatey brown 1x2 flat with the attachment, and on top we add the classic 1x2 with the gorgeous green. And we're going to top it off with the letter T with 2 knobs at the centerpiece, like so. To the top we add this tall trapezoid brick, as well as the mini triangle-like shape, like so. And we rotate around our structure, and to the bottom we add one more of these T-shaped bricks with the centralized knobs, like so. And we're going to add that right there. It's always nice when you can see it's a good snug fit. Look. Look, look, look. Perfect. And for step 12, we're going to add 2 of these 1x2 unique bluish, greenish, grayish bricks with the centralized knob, like so. And it's croissant time. They look like unbaked croissants. So we're gonna, I've never seen a brick like that. We're gonna add croissant number 1 right there. And then opposing it, croissant number 2, like there. And we're also adding 2 of these triangles to the bottom. And if there's any French people watching this, I apologize for the pronunciation of croissant. It's supposed to be croissant or something. Sorry about that once again. And next, I believe we're going to start building the holding structure upon which the Hercules beetle is going to sit. We're going to start with the classic 2x3 plate of the beige color. And we're going to add to its top a 1x4 brownish greenish color plate. And then comes the twin of the 2x3 beige. And we're gonna make our structure symmetrical, starting with a 1x4 plate, brownish greenish color, and then 2 1x1 flats of the same color, like so. And like so. And we start adding height to our build, starting with this 1x4 washing machine in the sense that the knobs on the side, the hollow knobs on the side, look like front loading holes of washing machines, to me at least. So 1x4 washing machine, and then 2 of these brownish greenish 1x2 washing machines to the sides, like so. We're going to continue with 4 of these unique bricks in the sense that they have knobs at one of the sides as well. We're going to add those 4 times to our build. Knobs facing outwards. And that is a number 4. And we'll close off our structure with 2 of these 2x3s that we started our structure with as well. And I said we're going to close off our structure, but no, we keep on layering. So next up we have one more level of the brownish 1x4s and the 1x1s between them. Perfect. And it's washing machine time once again. So we start with the 1x4 beige to the side, and then perpendicular we add the 1x2 washing machines facing outwards, and then we add 2 light gray 1x1s with the hooks attached. That's once, and that is 2 times. Perfect. And we add one more layer. Feels like building a lasagna with the repeating layers. Ground meat, pasta, cheese, bechamel sauce. And next up we have 3 1x4s. The first with unique white color in the sense that, well, the croissants were white, but it's not an often occurring color brick in this set. So that's kind of exciting. And then the brownish 1x4. 1 time. And 2 times. And we are now at about 20% of our build. Let me just grab a sip of, this time around, sip of pink Kinley, I believe, which is a non-alcoholic beverage by Coca-Cola. So to the top we're going to add this gorgeous deep blue, sea blue mini staircase with 6 knobs attached, like so. And on top we're going to add first this 1x2 bluish, greenish, grayish, and to its top once again a 1x2 oval beige color. Perfect. And we reorient our structure, we flip it around, and we're going to add first this 1x2 washing machine into the corners, 2 1x2 washing machines as well, beige color this time around. That's 1, and that's 2, and then 2 1x4 washing machines to both sides, and like so. And it's sub build time once again. We have 2 mini sub builds. So first we're going to do that one. We're going to take our shoe, our brownish shoe, and on top we're applying a mini triangular brick like so, and we're going to add that right there. And for the other sub build, we're going to take the 1x2 washing machine and then the same mini triangular brick, and we're going to add that next to our oval right there. And for steps 26, we're getting complex here. We have another mini build, starting with the 2x3, joined by the 1x2 with the hook facing upwards in place of one of the knobs. We add the same hooked 1x2 next to it, like so. And to the two corners we add two of these brownish 1x1 plates. And to the top we add the brownish shoe once again. And then finally, no, not finally, sorry. First we add the 1x1 beige washing machine. And then the brownish mini triangle, like so. And we're going to apply that sub-build, sorry about the wobble, right there. So it's sub-build time 3 times. We have the 2x1 washing machine, the vertical washing machine, and then we're going to apply the mini beige triangle on top once, and then 2 times, and then hopefully, and indeed, 3 times. And we're going to add those like mini towers. And I'm thinking Lord of the Rings here, the 2 towers, instead this time around it's 3. So just confirming the orientation. First tower comes here. Second tower right there, and then third tower right there. Perfect. We have a mini sub-build once again, starting with the beige trapezoid, and on top we apply a 1x2 smooth top beige plate, and we're going to add that with a nice snug fit right there. And we're also adding 2 of the brownish dots there and there, as well as the rounded off, edgy, triangular 1x2s, or trapezoid-like rather 1x2s. And it's sub-build time once again. And as said before, our structure is turning quite complex. I don't exactly see where it's going, but it's got lots of edges and pointy ends and lots of knobs uncovered so far, and a bunch of hooks as well. So looking forward to when we can already see the structure evolving. So we start with a 1x8. Flat beige color. We add the rounded off 1x2 trapezoid, as well as the recurring claw-shaped unique brick, the base of which would be a 2x2. We also add 1 more of our rounded off 1x2 trapezoids, as well as 2 of these rounded off 2x2 slippers, I tend to call them. Same beige color once again. The color diversity is going to come with packs number 4 and 5. So we're going to add that mini sub-build to the side of the structure. Look, covering up most of our knobs right there with a hopefully satisfying click. Like so. Perfect. And sub-build time once again. We start with this trapezoid-like brick, quite sizable in that category. And we're going to add a mini beige triangle first, as well as 2 beige trapezoids, but smaller ones. I'm just checking. No, it's the other one, sorry. I mixed up the orientations. Yep. Okay. And then trapezoid number 1 goes there. And then the second one, I'm 1 row off. That's going to be better. Then trapezoid number 2, beige color. And then we add trapezoid number 3. Underneath, like so. And then we're going to add this structure, this sub-build. Let me check the orientations. We're going to add it. I believe right there. Yep. So the bottom level is aligned, so that should be right. Okay. And we're going to do that, these 2 sub-builds for the other side as well, I believe. Let me just grab a sip of lemon water real quick. So we start with the same 1x8 beige. We add the claw-shaped brick, and then the rounded off beige slippers 2x2, 2 times, and then 1 more of the claw-shaped bricks. So it's not identical to the build we've done a bunch of minutes ago. And we're going to add that right. So here we should have 3 knobs left. So that looks good. And click. Perfect. If you can hear, by the way, background noises of a man speaking, that's my neighbor on the phone. The walls are not too thick here. We're going to do the outer layer of the structure once again, starting with the big brownish trapezoid, applying the mini triangle, applying an opposing mini triangle, and then applying 2 of our bigger beige trapezoids, 1 time and 2 times. And then finally, and this time around, the orientation of these 2 trapezoids relative to each other are a bit different. They're not aligned like so. And we're going to add that. Oh, look. perfect alignment. It's always so satisfying when you fill up all of the spaces that are left and you check all of the knob boxes, so to say. So we're going to put that aside for a bunch of minutes. We're going to start the final structure within the base, I believe. We start with this 1x8 once again, and we add this unique U-shaped bunny with the big ears in my projection. 2 eyes, 2 ears, like so. And then we add 2 big bricks. Once we add this 2x16, I believe. Like so. And then to the left we add 1 more of our 1x8. Perfect. Next we have 3 of these 1x2 plates with the centralized knobs. We skip a row, we add 1 more, skip a row, and add 1 more. Perfect. And we also add this unique slipper-like shape. It's a 1x2, but in place of one of the knobs we have a big hole through which we're probably going to pierce something. So looking forward to that. We're going to do that 2 times. And indeed, we're going to pierce through those holes these mini gray lightsabers, I call them. So that's 1. And that is 2. And we're also going to add a 1x4 of the brownish color, as well as the recurring claw-like 2x2 brick right there. Next up we have, to the center of the 1x4, a 1x2 smooth top beige plate, as well as 2 of the brownish triangles there and there, and a telephone. I usually call them a brown telephone at the end of our structure, like so. And we keep on layering the other end of the 2x16 brick. We add this 2x3 beige brick, as well as these 1x2 rounded off trapezoids pointing outwards this time around. And we also add 2 big trapezoids. So 1 at the end right here, and the second one underneath, like so. We add 2 additional mini triangles back to back, forming a bigger triangle if you think about it. And we're going to join these 2 structures so this is the base, and we're going to add this right there, look, snug fit, and as before, the bottom lines are aligned, so we should be good. And we keep adding some details to our build, trying to align it with the booklet, with the instructions. So first we add. Interesting. Did I mix something up? Give me a quick second. Okay, so that looks correct. And then we flipped it around. And then does that fit? No. Okay. Okay. So it says we should apply a mini triangle there, but there is no knob there next to the claw. Interesting. Okay, let me check from this angle. Okay. So we're going to go back a bunch of pages. Cross our fingers that we can figure out what went incorrectly. And I'm comparing the instruction manual to the build we have in our hands. Okay, so that looks good. That looks good. So does that. And this. This is where I went wrong. And indeed, I believe so that goes there. Yep. And then underneath, right there. Yep. And now we're aligned on the sides as well. And we're symmetrical as opposed to before. Yep. So hopefully we have our fix. And I'll come back right here. Yep. Okay. That makes me relieved because we don't have to disassemble our build. So now we're able to add the triangle right here of the brownish color. And we're also gonna add right there the 1x2 rounded off trapezoid 2 times, pointing backwards / downwards. And it's sub-build time. We're going to start with the dark gray brick with the multiplicity of knobs. It's 2x2 by size. And to its top we add this beige L-shaped brick with also a bunch of knobs on the side. And to the back we add this trapezoid of the beige color. To the top we have two of the rounded off 1x2 trapezoids. That's one, and that's two. And to the two sides we add two of the beige color ovals, like so. And we add our remaining claw-shaped 2x2s to the two sides one time and two times, as well as the two remaining beige color triangles to the right and to the left. And we're going to add that sub-build to the bottom of our structure. With a hopefully snug fit. And indeed, it fits perfectly. And finally, we're going to join our two structures. Oh, right there, look. Here is the rod, to which we're going to join these two light gray hooks with a hopefully satisfying click. Just checking if orientation is correct. It should be. 1, 2, 3. No, not yet. 1, 2, 3. Once again. The hooks are quite deep. I'm going to try it from another angle. Yep. Yep. Now it's connected properly. And with that, we have completed pack number 3, in which we have built the base of our Hercules beetle. The ground and the vegetation is quite similar, but the holding structure, once again, is different compared to the butterfly and the Chinese mantis. And we are at 53 minutes, correct? So we're gonna do the remainder of the Hercules beetle in the next episode, or maybe even the next 2 episodes. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I will catch you in the next video, and I wish you a very nice day. Goodbye.